I didn't know that he was a grower until 5 months later. And
what was that conversation like?
The good clones do become the good buds.
Absolutely.
The grow media is the key to success, first of all.
Your own Cannacribs episode? What about $20,000 in facility upgrades? Well, my friend, you're in luck. Sign up today for the Cannacribs and Hawthorne sweepstakes for the chance to win. The sweepstakes ends April 2023, open to US residents excluding Florida and New York and over the age of 21. You can check out the full sweepstakes rules on the application link below. I'll also post in the comments. Best of luck.
What's up, Deep Roots fam? My name is Autumn Karcey. I am the CEO of Cultivo Inc. and Alchemy 29, and today we're here to show you the Oakfruitland facility here in the heart of Oakland. This is a family-owned minority business that they bootstrapped this thing and pulled it together, and I'm so excited to show it to you today. Let's check it out. Hey Lindsay, how's it going?
I'm doing great.
Thank you for having us. Your facility is absolutely incredible. I'd like to discuss, kind of the origin story and how you guys started here in Oakland and how long have you been in the business?
So I met the master grower back in 2017 when we started dating, and I didn't know that he was a grower until 5 months later. And
what was that conversation like? Like, how did you respond to hearing that?
I was like, that's cool. Like, tell me all the story about it. So he told me that his spot got raided earlier that year, and he wanted to restart the business, and I was like, let me help you. So,
and what was your career background before that?
I was in real estate.
Real estate,
yeah.
Okay. So did you help secure the building and do all the logistics around creating the cultivation facility here?
Yeah, I would say my experience, my background definitely helped with building up this facility, but I was down to learn all the stuff about this industry because I think it's fresh. It's something that's exciting that people are looking forward to.
What are some of the safety procedures that you have to endure? Because I feel like if you grow in Oakland, you have to be tough as nails. It is not for the faint of heart. You're an attractive female in an industry which is predominantly men operators.
Right.
And so what is that experience like for you?
But I do recognize that as a female in this male-dominated market, there's a lot of stuff that you have to overcome. You have to go above and beyond to earn the respect. And yeah, I really enjoyed that too because I did met a lot of good people in this industry.
Yeah, absolutely. And I understand that your flower just flies off the shelf. And so how do you compete on the dispensary level to get that top shelf? I mean, that's a very competitive market.
It is a very competitive market right now. So what we do to help our customers to succeed right now is we offer a 90-day swap. So say if our product is within the MSRP, it's not moving in 90 days, we will offer you a fresh batch to swap back, and then you can either keep the old batch, do a BOGO with it, or you can toss it and then just sell the fresh batch.
Oh wow, that's a great incentive.
Yeah,
it's fantastic. So it's always providing fresh product on the shelf of your latest run.
Yes, and then it's helpful for the retailers that we got the feedback from, and then it's also helpful to with the brand image that we always have fresh batch out there for people to purchase.
Mm-hmm. And what are some of the favorite upcoming varieties that you're excited about?
Oh, we do have 2 more strains coming out this year, and I'm really excited to bring that on board. It's the Fortune Cookie and Skittles.
Nice. Well, Lindsay, thank you for having our crew in here today, and we're so excited to check out your facility.
Let's get started.
All right. So we're standing here in the mother room of the Oakfruitland facility. Tell me a little bit about your role and what you do here day to day.
I'm part of the propagation team here. We cut the clones, we care for the mothers, and we organize all the plants by height to make sure the canopy is nice and even.
So this is one of the most important parts of the process because it's where it all starts.
Yeah.
If you don't have healthy mothers, you don't have healthy clones, which means you won't have healthy
The good clones do become the good buds.
Absolutely.
Yep.
So you have an interesting background story. How did you end up here at Oakfruitland?
I really loved Oakfruitland strains, and I would, like, right when they would drop a new flavor, I would always go and buy it and I would try it. And I just would like watch their story every day, and I just thought it was like amazing how we have such high-tech LEDs and like sensors and all kinds of stuff. So there was really not another grow in the whole Bay Area that I wanted to work at.
What are some of the genetics that you guys are working on? How many strains do you hold in-house at any given time? And then how often do you introduce new strains?
So we have 30 different genetics right now in-house. We are introducing a new strain called Skittles that we really like.
Now, what are some of the challenges in bringing that up to?
Skittles takes a very long time to veg up, and it's very hard to get good clones from it. So out of like 10,000 clones, we're probably going to get 2,000 that are good for flower.
Wow. So you're only taking the best of the best.
The best of the best, and it also just the strain is hard to root, and it doesn't always veg the
Finicky.
best. Yes.
Yeah, it's really finicky. So what makes it worth going through all that trouble when you're taking 10,000 cuts and you're only putting 2,000 into production?
I know Skittles always, like anything that has Skittles in it burns really nice. I feel like Z just has like such a great flavor to almost like anything that it's in, and when it's on its own, it's very, very great, you know?
Yeah.
Like it's one of the most flavorful, like popular strains on the market right now.
Absolutely. It's a good one. How do you guys deal with the language barrier here?
You know, at first I was definitely kind of worried about the language barrier, but after like a week or two, you can definitely learn a lot from people who don't speak your language.
Yeah,
like
I think plants are a lot like cooking.
Yeah, no, like
the same ingredients, it's the same protocol, and if you know your job really well, you'll be able to communicate through that.
Yeah, no, they're very helpful, and everyone here is really polite and professional. And even though there is a language barrier, I've still been able to learn like new stuff every single day. Like,
fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, Jack, Youngji, thank you so much for being with us today. Hey Chris, how's it going?
Good.
How did the relationship start between you and Oakfruitland and getting these products into this facility?
So Oakfruitland, we've been working with Oakfruitland for about 4 years. It started in a very organic sense. They started using our Veg Bloom product. And as we were innovating and developing dose, they were one of the first to use the product, and we worked closer with them to customize their user experience with dose. Hydroponic Research has been through a multitude of product development over the last few years. We started out with our 1-part base nutrients, which were revolutionary in the industry. But for fertigation, we've decided to offer the industry a refined, more true powder product. And that product is Dose, which is a 2-part A and B. And really easy to use. It's not an agricultural salt. It's more technical than that, so it's a true powder. And then we have 2 products for leverage, Shine and Stacks. Stacks is a vegetative enhancing product, so use it in your vegetative stage as leverage for pushing greener growth. Shine is for flowering, so it's used in the flowering stage to leverage for flowers. Plus Life is usually a pre-plant inoculant. It's to be mixed into the medium. You can water it in, but the benefits of mycorrhizae are best met by adding mycorrhizae directly into the medium, not watering it in. It's a larger organism, so it helps to get it into the medium. So very excited about Flow. This is a non-hypochlorous, non-chlorine product, which is also a pH buffer. So it does similar things to what you would use hypochlorous acid for. It keeps surfaces clean. It breaks apart organic molecules. It prevents biofilm from forming. So it will keep everything flowing through your system, as well as buffers against pH rise in your medium.
So this is very cool. I haven't seen anything like this before, and I'm really excited about this product.
So yeah, these are inoculant stakes, and they're essentially a non-animal product. These are totally organic, 100% organic. So it's entirely, as you would say, veganic or vegan. And these contain mycorrhizae as well as calcium, magnesium, and a high amount of phosphorus. So a great additive for mother plants and for flowering plants. As far as finished flavor, finished flower aroma, bringing out genetics' true potential, not growing, but just monotonous, fluffy, short shelf life product. You really need these two right here. There's nothing else in the industry like them. They make a massive difference in the quality of the finished flavor, aroma, and shelf life of your finished product.
Hey Ryan, how's it going?
Great, Autumn, how are you?
Good, thanks for having us in the facility today. So we're at Oakfruitland looking at the irrigation system that you kind of engineered and designed and helped commission in this facility.
Yes.
So I just want to talk about why you selected this particular system and the overall complexity behind the system.
Yeah, I came onto this project a little over a year ago. A good friend of mine, Adrian, with Veg Bloom or Hydroponic Research, introduced me to Oakfruitland. When we came into the facility, we had to come up with a design that worked with the building that we were in. It's a 2-story building, so we have a lot of weight of water on the floor if we went with batch tanks.
Sure.
So it required us to put 2 systems in, so that way we can simultaneously feed the zones that we ran. Each room has 2 irrigation zones, so it gives them the ability to actually run, if they wanted to, they can R&D multiple products, pick one half of the room and run one product, the other half can be another product. And so
So the idea is to create a complex system that works for the cultivator but is also easy to use.
Absolutely.
That's the challenge here, right? Well, thanks for educating us on the intricacies of all of this complex plumbing that you have in here that you've managed to make simple enough for the cultivator or anyone in the facility to use. You've done an incredible job and looks amazing. So really impressed by your work.
Thank you very much.
Ken, Jock, we are in the veg room right now of your facility. This is absolutely incredible. I mean, the canopy is completely uniform across the top. It looks like someone took a laser and just, cut everything completely even. So how do you use your irrigation strategy to drive uniformity in plant growth?
佢問嘅係對我哋嘅全部佢先至可以做到咁平整先咯。首先係 column 嗰度好重要係啦。So the key part to keep the uniformity, our team, we call this a pull table effect. So it started from the foundation, the clone process. So the whole clone to veg process is 12 days. During that 12 days, for the starting from the clone, we have to select the healthy, strongest clone to transplant on the 1 gallon cocoa pot. Yep.
And how long do you keep your clones in the dome for before you put them into veg?
So normally when we cut the clone, setting the dome, that time period is a 13-day period. After the 13th day, we transplant to the 1 gallon cocoa pot, and that stays on for another 12 days. Certain strain that we have grow taller, same at a head level, the tree level. So for those sativa strain, we normally run at an 8 days veg time.
Okay, so you run your taller strains for a shorter period of time, and then the more stocky strains that can add a little bit more veg time. That makes a lot of sense.
That's correct. The maximum veg time we do is 12 days. Yep.
That's great. And you guys are using this PeleMix Canna cocoa, and I actually haven't seen cocoa like this before. Usually the cocoa that you find in the bag is very uniform and it's all one consistency, where you guys actually have this kind of different size chunks in the mix. Can you talk a little bit about that and the process of how you work with your cocoa?
因為平整嘅，就係個 cocoa 係好重要嘅。明白。So per can, the grow media is the key to success. First of all, why we choose PeleMix is he can actually like all this not uniform chunky pieces. The cocoa that has chunky pieces, it seems like per our experience, it has better oxidation, have more oxygen coming in. So it's for a veg plant, it's getting more oxygen and grow better roots. And to have a better roots, that's the key how we maintain the veg plant, maintain healthy and stay uniform.
So yeah, you can see it really creates a lot of aeration to the roots just because of those different size particles. And you guys use this all the way through, right? Starting with your moms to veg to flower. So it's one mix, right?
Yeah, we actually really like PeleMix, the size of their 1 gallon pots. First of all, chunkier cocoa, better, the particle movement inside the bag, healthier roots, which decrease the chance of getting, pesticides, molds, or root rots. There's a lot of, positive advantage it provides. By using PeleMix, is definitely a game changer. When PeleMix comes into a compressed and a dry cocoa block, all we have to do is using the 0.33 GPH dripper and plugging right in the center. They already compressed the hole for us, which is all we do, just place the dripper and it irrigates, buffer it for 60 minutes. And the cocoa will expand, it will be fully hydrated.
Okay, so it comes compact in the shipping container, which saves a lot of space in your footprint for shipping cocoa, and then you just plug it and forget it.
So Ken was saying that the team did side-by-side comparison before. It seems the survival rate of plants growing on cocoa is higher, and also the plant's uniformity is better compared to raw cocoa.
Got it.
Hey, thanks for watching the episode today. Did you know that we have a consulting division? We actually help design and build some of the most productive commercial facilities that you see right here on YouTube. If you need help building, retrofitting, or optimizing your commercial grow, hit that link in the description below and fill out the form. Now back to the episode.
So I know you guys use VRF system to control your HVAC in the facility. What do you use to counteract the dehumidification values that you're trying to achieve in here?
Yes, we do use a VRF system for the HVAC to counteract that. We choose the Quest 506 for the dehumidifier. On an average, out of the 10 of the flower room, on average each room we install at least 15 of the Quest 506, and it maintains a perfect balance between the temperature and the humidity. We maintain around 75%.
And Quest has been for a very long time kind of the tried and true standard of the industry as far as dehus are concerned. How has your experience been with their customer service, and did they help you with the design of the overall facility?
So our facility have hundreds of Quest 506. When things breaks down, need to be troubleshooted, Quest team, they reacts very fast. We just send the problem one over to Quest. We got immediate response. And also when we first starting designing every room, the facility, they provide the very accurate data of the BTU is pulling out, the heat is pulling out for daily. So give the grower team us a very accurate data to when we come to room creation.
Now, I know every facility is different based on your medium and how much particulates you have in the air. Is there an SOP that you guys recommend for filter changes on your Quest units?
For every room, every flowering cycle, we change not just the Quest filter and also the HVAC filter to maintain the cleanness and to prevent any, cross-contamination throughout the air.
Build up in the system, so every cycle, uniform like clockwork, you'll switch them out.
Yeah.
That's great. So I know energy efficiency is super important to you guys. How do you feel the Quest units play into that?
So from Oakfruitland team, as a team, we definitely wanted to, be more eco-friendly to the environment, and not from just switching from HPS to LED to the cocoa pods. And when it comes to the options to choose the dehumidifier, I think the market has become very transparent for equipment purchase. Everybody, all the vendors are shooting for more eco-friendly equipment. Definitely Quest is one of the leader in this industry, for sure.
So is there anything else that you guys do differently in veg that you would like the audience to know?
So one of the key points as the Oakfruitland team, we pay the veg team pay extra attention to maintaining a cleanness of the veg room. From every cycle, we do IPM control, pesticides monitoring, and making sure all the plants, the uniformity, that's the key to success.
And what size is your team that operates this portion of the facility?
The team of 4.
Team of 4. Wow. Well, they're doing an incredible job.
Thank you.
Shay. Thank you. Is that correct? Okay. Let's go check out some flower rooms.
Yeah, let's go.
So we're standing here in Oakfruitland's flower room with Jock, Ken, and Sam. Thank you for having us today.
Thank you for coming.
And we're looking at your single-tiered flower room with the LED lights. And tell me a little bit about this room.
So this room was created two years ago. Back then was HPS instead of the current Gavita
standard,
LED.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And what was your transition like going from HPS to LED?
So a major challenge when we switching from HPS to LED growing, back then was HPS setup, the plant doesn't require that much of the EC or the nutrient, but when we switch to LED, it seems the plant has become healthier and requires more nutrient. And also the local government from California was switching to LED because they're encouraging us to use more energy efficient equipment, and also it's better for the environment.
Now you guys have one of the nicest canopies I've seen in a long time. You take a lot of care. I can tell how I can see through all of your branches. Your tops are perfectly level. Everything in this facility is really driven by the labor model that keeps up with the canopy, and just touring all your rooms, it's really incredible. So tell me a little bit about the regimen for de-leafing and canopy management and how you guys run your crews.
First of all, Ken thinks the most important to maintain good canopy and a good growing environment, air movement is the priority, goes first before everything. Second thing is the lighting system. So lighting is consistent lighting, putting the good outputs is also gets even canopies. And the third, of course, the fertilizer is the third part. Yep.
And they all work together, right?
Yes.
So your air movement, your HVAC, that drives your VPD, which affects your nutrient uptake. And so it's all integral to each part of the system. And then for air circulation, you guys are using Patterson fans?
我哋主要係用 Patterson 作嚟空氣流通。
係，我哋每一間房用 Patterson 22張8台。
Yeah. The room that we're standing here, on an average setup, we use at least 8 of the 22-inch Patterson fan. Yes, for the air movement.
And you guys have been using Patterson fans for a long time.
Patterson all the way, because we've been using it, air movement, circulation. We test different brand, but I think Patterson was the best.
They're tried and true. They've been around a long time,
Yes.
and they're not just specific to cultivation. So it's not like they slapped Canna on it and sold it to cultivators.
Sure.
And how's their customer service? And did they help you with the airflow and the movement of the whole facility as you were transitioning?
提供嗰個各方面幫助，所以對佢哋嘅服務係非常之滿意。
Yeah, I think, let's say, Patterson, the customer service was great. Sean was our guy, from Patterson. In the beginning, what kind of size fan we should select, what kind of racking system to mount on the wall inside the room. Sean and his team was the brain behind it, helping us get the right size, the right mounting racks. So, yeah.
Hi, this is Brian with Oakfruitland, and my pro tip of the day is how to finger trim.
So we take the scissors, and we do use the scissors to cut off any big fan leaves. And that's just for speed. And then anything that's close to the bud, we will take our fingers and literally snap the stem off. We've cured the product in the drying room for 21 days now. So it's brittle enough to basically just knock off with your fingers, and that maintains all the trichomes and the structure of the bud. When you use the scissors for the close leaf, sometimes you can really hack into the bud. It kind of leaves some funky looking bud sometimes. And when you use an actual machine and tumble it, you can take away all of like the topography of the bud, the structure. So we like to just finger trim it here is what we call. And so yeah, everything, when we do finger trim, we're basically gonna try to brush everything down, because when we hang the plant upside down, the fan leaves tend to curl around the bud. So you're gonna brush them downwards, and by doing that, it kind of just snaps it right at the stem. So yeah, or we just, the pull technique as well. Some of the trimmers have little tools that they use, maybe like a little brush, but for the most part, just fingers. And I feel like it really maintains the integrity of the structure of the bud, and all the trichomes stay fully intact. There's no hacking. Yeah, it just ensures that the best looking quality bud will go into the bag. And that's the pro tip.
Hey Brian, thanks for having us in the post-processing part of the facility. You kind of run the day-to-day here and do a lot of the sales and procurement. Tell me a little bit about your roles and responsibilities.
So on a day-to-day basis, I do majority of all the wholesaling, dealing with also the dispensaries with the pre-packed product as well. Then also with all the quality control, making sure all the product is up to par, everything that goes to market.
And what's your process for QA/QC? Like, how many steps does it go through? How many people does that take? What do you look for?
So my background with the dispensary really helps me with QCing the product here, because I have a really good idea of what the customer is looking for. Not only do they want a good price, but they're looking for a quality product. Sure. So if we can hit both those points, I think we have a repeat customer. So we have about 5 checkpoints where we do quality control, from right when the plants go into the grow, to when they're harvested, to when they're put into the dry room, to where they're trimmed and then cured and then packaged. So when the packaging comes, we have a guide that kind of shows the size of buds. So you shouldn't have any more than like 4 buds in your eighth. We have a whole other brand that sells all of our smalls and B buds. So we have a home for all of those. So you're never gonna get any smalls in your eighth. Only the AAA stuff goes into a bag.
So hand trim, hand packaged, QA/QC, all the way through 5 steps.
Yeah.
To get it into a bag. Most people don't realize the amount of work it takes to get a quality product into a bag.
And I've worked with other companies that pride themselves on weighing 20 pounds a day per person. And those pounds are, you're gonna get a bunch of smalls, you're gonna get a bunch of unwanted buds into that bag. So that's what we're trying to avoid.
Sure.
Once it gets in the bag, gets sealed up, that's our brand, that's our reputation on the line. So what we put out to the market is always gonna be the best of the best. Yeah.
What's going on, y'all? This is Melvin Rodriguez, the floor lead here at Cookies Hayward in San Francisco, California. We're gonna be talking about the Oakfruitland Sugar Coated. One of the reasons why this is one of my favorite strains right now, it's the crosses. It's gonna be the Triangle Kush crossed with the Do-Si-Do, 2 famous OG strains that everybody likes, crossed. Doesn't give you the sweet aroma, but it does give you the sweet taste, especially on the exhale. It's a high tester at 30% THC. The cannabinoids is all there. The way it's grown in the flush, it's amazing. My favorite thing about it is also the indica high that it gives you. That nice stony feel, really that high in the clouds, exactly how you feel. Love it, definitely a must try. Definitely come over here to Cookies Hayward. come try it.
So, Marilyn, tell me a little bit about your roles and responsibilities here at Oakfruitland.
So, some of my roles here at Oakfruitland is product development as well as creating new SKUs and new designs for our brand. So, I like to showcase some of our brands on the table, including Dr. Moon, which is something new that we came out with about a month ago.
So you guys do everything in-house here?
Yes, the
Nothing
designs.
is outsourced.
No, everything's in-house.
Packaging, everything you guys actually create.
Yes.
I like that you take care in the detail and design through every step of the process, from what goes into the bag to how the bag looks to how it appears on the shelf. I mean, I know companies that spend millions and millions of dollars every quarter just on their branding and marketing initiatives and don't look as good.
Yeah,
So.
appreciate it.
Quentin, now you are the social media manager for the company.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about your roles and responsibilities, what you do here.
So I focus mainly on like content creation and marketing of our products. So really just trying to be fluid in like the image that we want to go ahead and present for Oakfruitland and making sure that's represented on social media.
So another thing that we really enjoy ourselves with our packaging is every little detail we take to our packaging, where it's color, whether it's print, but also every bud that goes into the packing is, we consider ourselves AAA that goes in there because it's the very best that we hand select.
So between Oakfruitland and Dr. Moon, what's the price point difference of, relatively speaking, if I'm going to walk out of a dispensary with any one of these bags?
We always advise the dispensaries that Oakfruitland, we like the MSRP anywhere between $35 to $45 out the door, taxes included, and then the Dr. Moon anywhere between $30 to $35 out the door, tax.
So how many stores are you currently in right now?
So we're currently at 100 stores, but we're hoping to increase that by the end of the year with our upcoming event show up at Hollow Flowers in Santa Rosa.
Well, thank you guys so much for sharing these beautiful products. I want to decorate my Thanksgiving table like this and just have like a full weed bar. It's been a really fun experience and I can't wait to see what the future looks like for you guys.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you. Thank you.